Okay, so a few days ago, something happened that has literally never happened before in the entire history of spaceflight. A rocket company opened on the stock market. Not a satellite company, not some defense contractor that builds a rocket on the side. No, the company that actually builds the rockets, lands the rockets, launches them every couple of days, started trading shares on the Nasdaq, like it's a coffee chain. And here's the part that gets me. Someone who has never worked a single day in aerospace, who couldn't tell a Falcon from a Starship if their life depended on it, can now own a piece of it from their phone in about 30 seconds. By the end of this video, you'll understand how a company that almost went bankrupt twice became one of the most valuable businesses on planet Earth. And stick around for the last one, because it honestly still sounds like science fiction. Except it's already happening. But to get why this is such a big deal, you have to go back to the beginning. And the beginning was a disaster. Between 2006 and 2008, this tiny company tried to launch its very first rocket, the Falcon 1. It failed. Then it failed again. Then a third time. By the fourth try, they were almost completely out of money. The founder said it himself. One more failure, and there would not have been a fifth attempt. That was it. The end. And then the fourth launch worked. Just barely. But it worked. And from that one flight, on a rocket that had blown up 3 times in a row, grew everything. So, once you understand that this entire company balanced on a single launch, the next 5 facts start to make a lot more sense. Fact 1. SpaceX now lands its rockets so often, it barely even makes the news anymore. And I need you to appreciate how insane that sentence is. For the entire history of spaceflight before this, a rocket was a one-time thing. You build it, you launch it, and the most expensive part, the engines, the whole booster, burns up or smashes into the ocean. Every single time. SpaceX looked at that and went, what if it just came back, landed itself, upright, on a little ship floating in the middle of the ocean? The first time people saw the video, they thought it was fake. CGI. It was not. And this year they passed their 600th landing. One booster has flown 35 times. The impossible thing became boring. Fact 2. Right now, tonight, there is a web of more than 10,000 satellites over your head, and you can probably see them. It's called Starlink. Each one's about the size of a small car, and they get launched in batches on those same reusable rockets. The whole point was internet for places that never had it. Remote villages, ships out at sea, disaster zones where everything else got wiped out. 10 million people use it now. And here's the magic part. On a clear night, if you know exactly where to look, you can watch a line of bright dots glide across the sky in perfect formation. That shooting star you saw? Yeah, that might have been the internet. Fact 3. They're building the biggest rocket humans have ever made, and they have blown it up. On camera. On purpose. It's called Starship. Stacked up, it's taller than the Statue of Liberty. And this is the part that breaks people's brains. A bunch of its test flights have ended in massive explosions. They even have a cute little name for it internally. Rapid Unscheduled Disassembly. Most companies would hide that, bury it. SpaceX live streams it to millions of people because their whole approach is backwards from everyone else. Instead of planning on paper for 10 years, they build the thing, fly it, watch exactly what breaks, and fix that one thing on the next one. It's faster. It's also way messier. But here's the mindset shift. To them, the explosions aren't the failure. The explosions are the data. Fact 4. In a single year, this company spent around $3 billion on a rocket that still hasn't flown one fully successful mission to orbit and back. $3 billion. In 2025 alone. Another $930 million in just the first 3 months of this year. More than $15 billion on Starship. Total. That's basically the entire annual budget of a mid-sized country's space agency, spent by one company, on one rocket. That still doesn't fully work yet, which makes this either one of the most expensive gambles in history, or the opening chapter of how we finally make getting to space normal. And honestly, right now, it could go either way. And fact 5, the reason this video exists at all of this just became something you can own a piece of. On June 12th, SpaceX stock started trading publicly for the first time ever. Ticker symbol, SPCX. It opened around $150, and within days, it shot up past $225. For a company that was 3 failed launches away from not existing. Now, not everyone's buying the hype. One Wall Street analyst flat out called the valuation borderline comical and slapped a sell rating on it. And he might be right. Nobody actually knows. That's the gamble. But here's the uncomfortable question sitting underneath all of this. Why would a company that blows up its own rockets, that bleeds billions on a vehicle that doesn't fully work, end up being one of the most valuable companies on the entire planet? And the honest answer is, the failures were never the risk. The failures were the strategy. Think about it. Old school aerospace treats every single test like it cannot fail, because each one costs a fortune and they only get a few, so they plan and simulate and review for years. SpaceX just flip the whole thing over, make each test cheap, run way more of them, let some blow up in public, and learn faster than anyone who's too scared to ever get it wrong. It looks reckless. It looks insane. But that exact approach took a rocket that failed 3 times in a row to one that's now landed 600 times. And underneath all of it, the boosters, the satellites, the rockets that keep exploding, there's one goal the founder repeats over and over and over. Mars. Not to visit, not to plant a flag and fly home, to stay, to actually build something there. The current target for the first uncrewed Starship headed to Mars is the end of this year. Will that happen on time? Almost certainly not. Timelines in this world slip constantly, but it would be the most ambitious flight anyone has ever attempted. Here's what's not uncertain though. 20 years ago, this company couldn't get a tiny rocket off the ground without it exploding, and nearly went broke trying. Today, it lands rockets so often nobody blinks. It's wrapped the entire planet in internet beamed down from space, and it trades on the same stock exchange as the companies that make your phone. And your sneakers. And it is not slowing down to celebrate any of it. In the time it took me to explain these 5 facts, they've probably launched something else. Some weeks, they go up more than once every 2 days. So, if that is what 20 years of fail, learn, try again actually built, then the real question, the slightly unsettling one, is just, what does the next 20 look like? A few days ago, a rocket company opened on the stock market for the first time in history. 20 years ago, that sentence would have sounded like pure science fiction. Now, it's just Tuesday.